Hello there, we're excited to have you join us on another edition of the Edu Talk Show. The Edu Talk Show, as always, is brought to you by the Ministry of Education in partnership with the Teacher Education Journal. This week, we're talking about the role of guidance and counseling in our schools. We're speaking to the Director in charge of Guidance and Counseling Unit at the Ghana Education Service Headquarters, Director Gifty Sekyi-Bremansu. She speaks to us about the role of her outfit in building safe schools. We talk about that after this break. Please stay. And you're welcome back from that break. Thanks for staying with us on the Edu Talk Show. The Edu Talk Show is brought to you, as always, by the Ministry of Education in partnership with the Teacher Education Journal. And as I was indicating earlier, today we are talking about the role of guidance and counseling in our schools. And that's why we're at the Ghana Education Service Headquarters, speaking to the Director in charge of Guidance and Counseling Unit here at the GES Headquarters. I'm talking about Director Gifty Sekyi-Bremansu. Director, welcome to the Edu Talk Show.
Thank you, sir.
And I must congratulate you, first of all, on this whole project about the Safe School logo project. For many of our viewers who may not be aware about the essence of the project, can you briefly run us through the background and what necessitated this whole project?
Right. Thank you very much. The Safe School program is a flagship program for Ministry of Education and Ghana Education Service, spearheaded by the Guidance and Counseling Unit. Studies and research earlier on carried on, and then the baseline information that we had from the UNICEF study in 2014 indicated that there was some level of violence, discrimination, bullying in our schools. So there was the need for policy and then the management to see how best it can be addressed. So in the year 2018, the Safe School program was launched by the Ministry of Education and Ghana Education Service, and the Guidance and Counseling Unit was tasked to spearhead its implementation. So resource packs were prepared, and then to get the needed knowledge, skill, and attitude required of those who were going to implement it. Various training across board, cross-sectional training was done, and then the schools, other stakeholders were all brought in to get the tenants of the Safe School. In fact, the Safe School program is basically to prevent violence of any form in the schools. We want to avoid discrimination. We want to avoid bullying, abuse, whatsoever, either between the teacher and the student or among students themselves or whoever is part of the school system. We want the avoidance of violence in any form. So from the 2018 to date, this program has been carried on across board throughout the country. So there was the need to get a logo to reward schools that adhere to the tenets of the Safe School, and students who are also ambassadors and influencers of Safe School. So a context was opened throughout the nation for students to come out with a drawing that depicts a safe school. So throughout the nation, we opened the contest. Entries came in through about 36,000 entries from students
that
much from the pre-tertiary level. And then a committee, well-selected committee, went through selection of the entries to come out. You went through a rigorous and robust selection system to come out with the best. We had various categories of the awards. We had the special school category, primary school, JHS, and senior high school. And all the various categories were awarded, and the creme de la creme, the ultimate winner, was equally awarded, as well as the school in which the ultimate winner comes from.
I see. And reports indicate that you had an amazing lunch of this whole project. But what's your own impression about the level of participation from learners? Would you say that it's been encouraging?
It has been very encouraging, especially with the launch of the Safe School, because all students were encouraged to be part of the drawing. And as they started doing their own preparations and their drawing, they were communicating what is a safe school. Teachers were so enthused about that. So they all got into the whole thing and they wanted more information. And that aroused the interest of the students. So Safe School now is a household name. Even the KG child understands a safe school because they know that when a school is said to be safe, it is protective, it is conducive for effective teaching. There is no bullying. It is secured. It is an inclusive school where the special need child finds solace in the school. Teachers are okay in the environment. The infrastructure wise, everybody is catered for in the school. So after the lunch, I started getting mails and information from other stakeholders of what next, and I have to take this opportunity to tell them that it is going to be an annual something where schools will contest per set indicators, and if your school qualifies, we give you the flag.
So now competition
setting in
right,
for all pre-tertiary institutions. So wherever that you see the flag, it means that the school is conducive and parents and other stakeholders will be interested to send their awards over there. So learners as well as teachers have a task to ensure that their schools are safe. So by the end of the year, the competition will be opened and all schools are ready to contest. Once you qualify, it goes with not just the flag, it goes with other goodies as well. And it's not only the physical infrastructure, but then it goes with other preventive measures and other emotional and psychological well-being measures that is taken to ensure that the individual in the school, be it a student or a teacher, is safe on the school compound and even beyond.
And at this point, we also need to urge parents to support their awards in this process.
Exactly, because it starts from home. If the child is safe from home, he comes with a mind that is ready to support each other, to be there. And research has even indicated children who come from homes that are safe would always want to ensure that their colleagues and people who are closer to them are equally safe. So when you go to a KG classroom, a child who is safe from home sees the colleague crying, you see that the other one would want to support the other one to be in an equilibrium state so that they can play or do whatever that they are doing. So safe school is key.
And I'm sure this is feeding into the essence, the reason for which we have this unit here at the Ghana Education
Exactly.
Service.
In fact, exactly. Without safe school, I think that this unit has no job to do. Because at the end of the day, we are to ensure developmental, comprehensive, and preventive guidance services to the students. And if this is not done, then we need to close this unit and then go and do other things.
And what's been assessment over the years for pre-tertiary schools and how the guidance and counseling unit at the GES has been contributing to development in that space? What would you say has been assessment over the years?
Our socio-cultural environment has its own challenges when it comes to issues of safety, and it is transferred into the school system. So we cannot say that our school system is holistically safe. We still have issues of abuse, violence, sexual harassment, and then the corporal punishment in the system. And because it's a social environment, definitely you would have some deviance, and we must keep on preaching the gospel according to Safe School until the last person changes. If not, so we still have more to do when it comes to Safe School. But thankfully, I think people are now, the awareness is there because of the sensitizations that we are doing. People are getting more interested in the issues of Safe School, and then those who don't know would care to ask you what is safe school, and then we get the opportunity to also enlighten them to be mindful of what is expected of. And once you let them know the whole concept of safe school, they sit up and they reason into it, and they see the need to ensure that this is a good something. When we do, it will help our educational system.
It is good. So, Director, let's come back to our topic, and that's why I want to find out guidance and counseling in our schools. How effective has this department been in terms of our pre-tertiary institutions? What would you say has been the effectiveness of your unit?
So the units, guidance and counseling units, national, regional, district, and even at the school base, have been very effective with regards to empowering our coordinators at the various levels with the necessary knowledge, skills, and attitude to be able to provide their defined role as expected. With the support of our partners, we've been able to train a lot of our coordinators, giving them enough information required and skill required to be able to manage the students. You see, when it comes to GNC, our task or our role is multifaceted. We do a lot of things. In fact, if I'm to list the things that we do, we would have a whole page of activities or the tasks expected of us. We do consultation, orientation, assessment, placement, follow-up, psychosocial, mental health, career, and other related issues and guidance services that is expected of us. And I must say that with the help of our partners, we've been able to achieve a lot over a given period, because the unit is very proactive, and we are open to suggestions and input that would benefit the learner in the school. And then I think doing our own assessments, and from the remarks and the commendations that we get from our partners, our donors, and the other friends of the unit, I think we've come very far. Even though there is still more room for improvement, but assessing ourselves by defined indicators and what have you, I think we've come very far. Even the Safe School program is an indication that guidance and counseling unit has come very far, ensuring that students are safe. And then we've also been able to do needs assessment. I think TTEL helped us with the needs assessment of some secondary schools, and that informed us to provide the requisite services that are required to empower such schools. And that one has also helped us very well. One good thing with guidance and counseling unit is that when a development partner comes in with something that will be of benefit to the entire nation, we don't leave it there. We blast it throughout the nation, and everybody within the pre-tertiary scope benefits from it. So we've come very far.
And there's room for improvement
There
as
is
well.
still more room for improvement.
So now you're learning about the Safe School project, and you're also getting to know what happens here at the guidance and counseling unit of the Ghana Education Service. When we get back, we'll look at the essence, or how important guidance and counseling is to shaping the life of our learners. We'll do that right after this break. You're watching the EduTalk Show, brought to you by the Ministry of Education in partnership with the Teacher Education Journal. We'll be right back. Please stay. And thank you for staying with us on the EduTalk Show, brought to you by the Ministry of Education in partnership with the Teacher Education Journal. So we're still looking at the role of guidance and counseling in our schools, and we have the director in charge of the guidance and counseling unit at the Ghana Education Service, Director Gifty Sekyi-Bremansu, helping us out to understand what their role is. And we've also been speaking about the Safe School project, which you've learned a lot about. But now I am interested in looking at, Director, the importance of guidance and counseling in shaping the life of our learners. What would you say the essence of guidance and counseling is when it comes to that aspect?
Thank you very much. In fact, the entire school system is about guidance. Guidance mathematically can be equated to a main set, and all other activities, including teaching and learning, are subsets of the main thing. So in a school system, without guidance and counseling, the school cannot be complete, because students come to the school with various needs. They have their own challenges, they have their own problems, and there is the duty of the Office of Guidance and Counseling to ensure that they have a proper and a better understanding of themselves. They are equipped with the necessary tools to be able to solve their own problems. That is, we equip them to make informed decisions and informed choices. And then we also help them to have a better frame of mind that would help them to be able to learn and learn very well. We also secure the psychological well-being of the learner. Sometimes some come with distorted mindsets, even about themselves. Others come to school with a lot of stress, anxiety, depression. And it is the duty of the school guidance and counseling, or a counselor, to ensure that the learner is in that right frame of mind. It's not only the learner, sometimes it's also the teacher must equally also be in that right frame of mind. When it comes to issues of affection, or let me say the emotional issues, the emotional well-being of the learner is also considered, because at the end of the day, we want the person to have a stable emotion so that the affective part of learning can equally be achieved. So we also provide guidance services and psychosocial support in that space for the person to be
but in all of this, do you just target the pre-tertiary space? Because there'll obviously be academic progression.
Our mandate as a unit ends at the pre-tertiary level.
So how about tertiary education?
What we
and
do
career
is that we
planning
do
for
transitional developmental counseling or guidance to ensure that they transit into the tertiary space effectively. But for our mandate, it ends with the pre-tertiary level. But the necessary transitional whatever is made to. So we provide guidance services in relation to career paths, career development, and even help with the academic guidance for them to be able to do program selection, career paths, and other options that one, if you choose a particular area or program, the options that is available for you. We do all those as part of our mandate. That is developmental guidance.
But there's still a relevance to tertiary education.
Obviously,
and the
because
it
ends somewhere. The transition, we also prepare them to transit effectively to the next stage of their educational ladder.
But as you sit here, you have an overview of what the psychological and emotional needs of the average learner in our pre-tertiary space is. What would you say are some of the findings, some of the observations you've made at your unit here at the Ghana Education Service?
I think when it comes to such a question, I must do the categorization. We can look at those at the secondary level. They are in the adolescent. Some are going out of the adolescent. They are becoming emerging adults. And you know, it has its unique characteristics, a lot of decision making, a lot of anxieties, and a lot of fears, phobias, and what have you. So per our study, we've known that at that level, we need to equip them with the necessary tools for them to understand themselves, identity issues, to let them be able to overcome the emotional, the feelings that they go through, because for the adolescents, a lot of changes are going on in the system. So we provide the appropriate developmental guidance to them. And on our one-on-one counseling services that we provide, depending on the unique characteristics that the individual may portray. Sometimes it may even be personality disorder. Sometimes it may even be an emotional help that the person may need. We provide that one. So at the secondary school level, we do a lot of these and add career guidance and all other services that may be required over there. When you get to the JHS2, it is also another transition where a lot of changes are going, we guide them equally as what will be required of them. And when it gets to the primary and even at the KG level, we also provide appropriate guidance.
I see.
And then we also open our doors for counseling if the need be. Guidance, counseling, it runs through.
It doesn't end.
It doesn't end. So everybody needs counseling.
So, Director, how are these findings affecting learning outcomes in our schools?
I think let me give a specific example with the special needs individuals. We've realized that there are some that can be easily integrated into the normal school. Just take it that way. The mainstream schools that we have. And we've learned that when they come, they do very well because they learn through their involvement with the other students who may not have challenge, and they are also in a position to help them to be integrated into the mainstream thing. So the information that we gathered out as a result of the studies conducted help us to do that one. And also some of the findings also guide with policy. For example, there have been studies about sexual harassment, and it is guiding policy because we've realized that in some of our schools, we have issues of sexual harassment, and once it is there, it becomes a canker which must be addressed. So the findings are also guiding us. And then there are other guidance and counseling research-based information that is also helping us, and it's even helping teachers to manage their teaching and then their pedagogy, because what you would use for maybe a child who is special need may not be the same, or somebody, with a special need, if you are extremely beyond certain level, maybe the level of intelligence is also becomes a special need somebody like the one who is also below. So it guides us, it guides teachers in the classroom and others in the educational space to give the appropriate intervention that is required.
And earlier we were talking about stakeholders, particularly the role of parents. What role can they play in supporting, in addressing some of these challenges that we've identified?
Thank you very much. For parents, I think I need to have time for them. Most parents have given birth to the children that they themselves don't even know. Yes, they don't understand the developmental processes of the child. And providing the appropriate psychosocial support also becomes a challenge. So there is a need for parents to understand their children and then be also mindful about the welfare of the child and follow up to the school. Sometimes we even invite them to schools to come so that we can, after maybe a screening or after certain assessment, there is the need to meet the parent to guide them in providing the appropriate intervention, maybe in cases of psychosocial support, because a child may be very introverted to the extent that environment plays a role. So when you have a parent, you bring the parents on board and guide them, empower them that this is what we've identified in your ward. So this is what we expect you to provide. Maybe the child needs affirmation. Oh, Kofi, you can do it. When it starts from home, the child sees a significant somebody at home who has affirmed that he can make it. And as a result of that, with that information, you come to school and the school system also continues with that. Over a period of time, the child would overcome that situation or the ailment that he or she finds himself. So parents, we need you to be closer to the school. When we call for PTA meeting, please do well to come over. And then when there is anything concerning your ward and the school invites you to come over, please do well to also come over. Anything that concerns teaching and learning and in the school system, please be part of it and let's help the Ghanaian child. Director,
we need to wrap up, but we cannot go without speaking to some of the challenges you have and how stakeholders can support you. So we build a robust guidance and counseling unit. It will definitely help our educational system. So earlier you were indicating that yes, you've done a lot of work across the country, but there's room for improvement.
Yeah.
What's your expectation from stakeholders and how they can partner your units so that we see to the needs, psychological and emotional needs of our young learners?
Thank you very much. I think this one is a passionate appeal to all stakeholders and more especially parents who have their wards at the second cycle institutions. We want to appeal to them to be mindful of the office of the guidance and the school-based guidance and counseling unit, and help them with the necessary infrastructural needs that they may need. Sometimes they may get an office without maybe the needed amenities to be able to run. And guidance and counseling is key. Every institution that has a strong guidance and counseling base is assured to come out with the expected teaching and learning outcomes. So parents should go in there and then support. Sometimes just a box of water can do the magic for them. A child comes, the child is so depressed, stressed out. The counselor will relax the child through the appropriate intervention. Maybe a bottle of water, take it and relax. You are okay. The room is quite conducive, so well ventilated. The chairs are comfortable. There is a tissue paper on the table for the child. Maybe the child is in a crisis, traumatized, crying and screaming. You give the appropriate intervention, make yourself comfortable, take some of the tissue paper, wipe away your tears and what have you. I think these small things can go a long way. And sometimes just a word of affirmation would just relax the counselor to be able to provide whatever resources that is required. And also how we manage the children at home. Sometimes the language that we speak to them, the affection, I always talk about it. Affection, you don't pay VAT. Telling your child, I love you,
it doesn't
you
cost
pay,
you much.
doesn't cost anything. Rubbing your shoulders around giving the child a hug. You see, these are some of the petty things that Ghanaian parents, we've neglected and we are not doing it as expected. And at the end of the day, we label the children. If there had been a little rubbing of the shoulders at the back, a little affection, a little I love you, it would have calmed the nerves and the child will feel belonged. It's not always about money. Let's have time for the children. Let's show love. Let's show affection. And I believe with these little things, they are therapeutic. I remember the first time I went to my ward's PTA meeting, and just the child seeing me, he was so happy that the mom is at the meeting. You see, we don't need a huge building or a very huge something. These little affection and whatever that we are providing for the child can do the magic. Okay,
right.
So this is my humble appeal to all parents and to teachers. You decided to become a teacher. Even if you were coerced to be, you have decided to be in it. Please dance to the tune of the profession. Right. Let's guide the children. Let's know that we have different children from varied backgrounds in the classroom. You don't put all of them into one jacket. Manage them according to their individual uniqueness. And when we do that, at the end of the day, you'll be assured that you get the expected outcome as a teacher and you'll be fulfilled. That is our duty.
So now you know why she is the director at the Guidance and Counseling Unit of the Ghana Education Service. We are so grateful, Director Gifty Sekyi-Bremansu, for spending some time with us on the Edu Talk Show. That's all time will allow us here on the Edu Talk Show, brought to you by the Ministry of Education in partnership with the Teacher Education Journal. We'll see you again in our next episode. My name is Blessed Sogah. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.